What's up, guys? Here we are on another episode of Real Estate and Sneakers, two things that I love to talk about. We're going to talk a little sneaker. We're going to talk some real estate. We're going to talk motivation, inspiring stuff. Today we are going to be talking about the Jordan 6 champagnes. So this sneaker here, anybody who follows Nike, follow Jordan, you know that this is the first shoe that Michael Jordan wore when he won the championship. He actually had the black and red ones on, but then they turned it into a whole theme. They did the champagnes to match the champagne bottle, which is why it's green. Then they have the cigars, which is back here. Anybody that knows Jordan, he loves to smoke cigars, so that's why they did that pack. But it is the very first ones that he wore when he wore the championship, so that's why that sneaker is, I think, a must-have. These actually glow in the dark. So you can go online, you can find them. They cost, on the secondary market, they're not cheap right now, but if you could grab a pair, I would definitely say get them. You need these in your arsenal. And my son will let you know what's going on in the real estate market with the interest rates and what we're looking at out there.
Yes, so with the real estate market at the moment, for 30-year fix, we're a little under 6%. For 15-year fix, we're a little under 5.5%. So, closing out the year, rates are definitely dropping, definitely coming down. So you definitely want to sit down during the holidays, take everything in, plan strategically, and, execute. Because all the planning, doesn't mean too much if you're not putting anything into action. So, you definitely want to stay coordinated, stay calculated, and, take action definitely, because things are only getting more expensive. So,
Yep. Without further ado, we have my guest, momtrepreneur. I don't even know the word. She's a mom. She's a wife. She has a door grooming business, mobile door grooming business. She runs Inspection Boys. I don't know what else she does. Well, she does a whole bunch of other things. I'm going to let her tell you. Bridget Malik.
Thank you.
Hi, girl. What's up?
How are you? Thank you for having me.
Good.
Very excited to be here with you guys.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for pulling up on us. I know you got a lot of different things going on, so we appreciate you and we appreciate the time, man.
Oh no, I love doing this stuff, and whatever we can do to help.
Thank you. We appreciate it. First and foremost, when the hell do you sleep?
Last night I think I fell asleep like midnight. Yeah, is this about midnight?
Okay.
I'm an old lady.
You're an old.
I'm an old lady. I am an old lady. When I'm home and I don't have events, I like to go to bed at like 8:30, and but I am up around like 4:30 in the morning. Like,
and one of those. Okay.
Yes. So that's why I say I'm an old lady, because they all like to wake up early, and
that makes sense.
Yeah.
The analogy.
Yes. So I'm but when I have to stay up late, I will. And sleeping in for me on the weekends is like 5:30, 6 a.m. That's sleeping in for me.
Adios meals this week. I don't even that's insane to me. But I don't know if I missed anything. If you want to tell the people who you are, what it is that you do, or what it is that you don't do.
Right. My name is Brigitte Malik. I am one of the founders of Inspection Boys. We are a franchise and a local home inspection company as well. I also own numerous different businesses as well. One of them is called Zoom & Grooming, which is also a franchise. And myself, I have 3 locations in Long Island and 3 trucks. I have 2 of those trucks that are at my house, and then 2 trucks I own with my business partner as well. I also have Main Street Success, which a lot of people know us as our real estate school, which is pretty predominant in Long Island. And so it's all about educating real estate agents. And also we have a home inspection school, ironically, and we teach inspectors how to do home inspections.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then we have a marketing company, a bunch of other stuff too. But those are really the big companies there that we have.
Nice.
Yeah.
Growing up, what did you think success was going to look like? And how has that changed?
All right. So my version of success versus my brother's would be very different.
Okay.
Right? Because I think even though we're only 4-year difference,
Who's older? Sorry,
I am.
Okay.
Yeah. So for example, I was around when my parents' businesses weren't so huge yet. Right. And I saw my parents grow the businesses and get them to the point where they were very successful, and our businesses were doing like multi-million dollars in a month, right? I remember because the minute I got my license, my mom, all of a sudden, my biggest responsibility besides working was I had to pick up my brother every day at school. And then I had to go to the office every day and pick up all the checks, all the cash, everything, go to the bank and deposit everything, right? Which I didn't realize at the time how much business my parents actually did until I start doing all these deposits for them. So, whereas my brother, he was just kind of like already privy to all this lifestyle that my parents had built for so long. And for me, when I was growing up, like, okay, if I wanted, like when N64 came out, right? My parents were like, if you get really good grades on your report card this semester, then you could go ahead and get an N64. We'll get it for you. Right?
Nice incentive.
Yeah. So that's what I did. I worked my butt off and made sure I had really good grades. I always had grades were kind of easy for me, but then there was one year where I was older. We had like a ton of acres in Florida, and it was in the neighborhood we lived in. It was very common to like ATV, go-karts, and a lot of off-roading, right? I didn't have one yet, so I was like, oh man, like I really want that. I'm going on my friends and I really want one. Yeah. So my parents were like, everything's always a negotiation with my parents, right? So I said, okay, what do I have to do? And my mom and dad, they said, okay, if you get straight A's for a whole year, straight A's, nothing less, like straight A's for a whole, because I was always like A, B, A, B, A, B. And
Without even trying.
Without even really trying, right? And they said, if you got straight A's for a whole year, we'll get you a go-kart. Okay. Which sounds crazy, man. Go-kart. This is what the part of Florida I was in. That was very common.
Okay.
And so for a whole year, I just studied like crazy. I didn't want to miss anything. Made sure all my homework was done. And I got straight A's for a whole year. That was the only time I ever got straight A's. Because after that, I was like, all right, cool.
There was an incentive behind
right.
That's how you did it?
Right, exactly. And then I got my go-kart. I remember going to BJ's with my parents, and I was like, okay, you said. And my dad's like, yeah, we're getting you that blue one. Blue's your favorite color. And they brought it down. So my parents always made me work my butt off to get certain things. My brother was different. Nothing against my brother, but it was like, he was the youngest, so it was like, he was just given.
By default.
Right, by default. Now different. Now he does work his butt off to have a certain, lifestyle. But so for me, it was always just seen as you do certain work, then success comes from that. So that's my version of success. It's about the amount of work that you're putting in and then what you will receive.
How old were you when this with the go-kart then?
The go-kart, I was in middle school.
Oh, okay.
I was in 7th grade. Yeah.
7th grade with a go-kart.
7th grade with a go-kart. But like my whole life, like since the minute I could walk and write, my mom would have me in the office helping her doing the end of the month before the computers were like a huge thing, and we had to send out all the invoices out, and I'd be there sending everything out or calling the dealerships for accounts payable. So it was totally different.
Nice.
Yeah. So
I envy you a lot because I left home when I was 18. They didn't even buy me a car at 18. So you getting the go-kart million. Yeah, it was very different. Very different. And it wasn't like that for forever, because there was a time where everything changed completely. But I cannot say that I had a bad lifestyle growing up. Nice. What was the what's your family background?
So I am first generation United States.
Okay.
My mom was born in Peru, and my grandmother's Peruvian. My grandfather is German. Nice. They migrated here. I want to say like they must have been the 80s they came here. And so I'm first generation here in the United States, which I'm pretty proud about. And then my dad's Canadian, so my dad's from Nova Scotia. And
does he know Drake?
Does he know what?
Oh,
Drake. Oh, from
I'm sorry, but
I think he's from Toronto, though.
Yeah. I just automatically.
But yeah, so that's I'm proud of that. I do speak Spanish, but my mom speaks 4 languages, so she has a amount of languages above me. My mom's very smart like that. So
okay. Got a question.
I was gonna say, how did you know you wanted to get into, I guess, the family business, or not venture off and kind of do your own thing?
So my parents' family, but we had 2 big businesses. So one of them was used car lots, right? We know the used car lots. So what dealerships make the most money on used cars.
They do.
That's where they make all their money. That's where they pay everything. They don't actually get much money on new cars, but they need the new car to buy, and they count on the rebates that the manufacturers give them. So my parents' business was automotive. So what we did was we would go to the used car lots or the dealerships, any used car dealerships. We would walk the lots and we would try to find used cars that maybe weren't very appealing. And we would install accessories on them to increase the value, right? So, for example, bed liners. I would never buy a truck without a bed liner. Have you ever seen a truck without a bed liner? It's all metal, right? So the trucks like that, we would put in the bed liner. So as a kid, I'd be in the back of the truck. My dad would throw me a bed liner and I would start putting it in. Spoilers were huge.
So I do it.
Yeah, spoilers. And then before rims became a huge thing, it was all about chrome skins or hubcaps, right?
Hookups.
So chrome skins were like the chrome. They were beautiful. They're still very nice, but they're a much cheaper alternative than rims, right? And then when rims started getting better, then we started doing like rims and all this stuff. So our job was to make these cars sell faster for the dealerships. And then therefore, if the dealership added, let's just say $500 to this used car, well, no, they wouldn't go around and sell it for another $500. They would market it up like 500, maybe 1,000% up of what they invested into it, and they would get it. So that was our job. So we built a huge business doing that. And then my parents also built custom houses, custom luxury houses in South Florida. Yes. So I've been around houses my entire life. In fact, most of the houses besides one house was the only house I ever lived in in Florida, that my parents didn't build because all the other houses we built. And so that's what we did. So I've been around construction forever. I just never wanted to do the physical work, which is why I love being a home inspector.
You always like the behind the scenes.
Yes.
Well, even with your parents' business, if they not so much selling the cars and they do all the accessories, they were almost like forward thinking back then.
Right.
Oh.
And it's still actually a huge business. Yes, it's a huge. My dad, it's not the business now is not what it was. Unfortunately, things changed, and in 2007, my dad just decided he didn't want his kids or his family anymore, and he got on a plane and left us for another woman in Germany. And so that and then he spent all the money my parents had saved. He ran all the businesses down to the dirt. And we were just, one day we're at home and my mom's car is getting repoed and everything. And it's like, so you go from a certain lifestyle to all of a sudden, like, there's no money in the bank.
A complete 180. Oh, wow.
Complete, yeah. And so that was very stressful. And here I am, I'm like 17 years old. 17 years old. What do? I can't even help. I can't do anything. I went to the office and I'm like trying to because my mom was emotionally just wrecked at the time. And it's like, how can I help rebuild this? And I couldn't do anything. That's been one of my biggest regrets, is that I couldn't save everything, even though it's not my job to save it. I think has turned into the person I am now, where I always feel like I have to save people. And maybe that's a negative quality that I have, but that's one thing that I'm trying to, I guess, get over a little bit.
What's your sign? Because I'm like that in the sense.
I have no idea. I don't either. So no, I have no idea.
Well, you're April.
Yes.
I'm April too.
Okay. Which day?
I'm April Fool's Day.
Oh, okay. You're okay. I'm April 14th.
Okay.
Yeah, the days would take. Yeah.
You guys, you see that? You didn't. So that kind of it makes sense now.
Yeah.
We're always, with everything else that we're dealing with, wanting to take on other people's issues and wanting to, but the one thing that I think you and I know at this point is that you can never want more for a person than they want for themselves.
Right.
And
sometimes I'm like the worst because I'll put other people's needs in front of my own. And, yeah, she's shaking her head like, yeah, And it's true, because we went through a recent situation and it kind of like, hurt me in the butt, so to speak. But it is what it is. Like, I like to go to bed knowing that I try to help as much as I can and have like a clean conscience, so.
I get it. Inspection boys, how did that enter your life? How did that even come about?
That started by accident. Yes, I almost actually bought another franchise called Pillar to Post.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah,
That first one.
I was about to buy that franchise. And I had another business at the time. I no longer have that business. And at the time, it was very successful. It was growing very fast. But this is when they had announced that they gave like the small business owners like a few years notice that they were going to be raising minimum wage from like 7 to like 15, right? So they gave us like a period of time to prepare to business owners, right? That was going to be detrimental to my business,
Of course.
because my business was built upon hiring $10, $11, maybe $12 an hour people, and I was making bank, right? When that came around, I was like, holy crap, I got to figure out something else, right? So I decided to go get my license as a home inspector. I loved houses, I loved doing what I was doing, but I wanted to grow. So I decided to go do that. My daughter, I had just had my first daughter, so she was very, very, very baby. My husband, we only had one car. We lived in Queens at the time, so twice a week, my husband would drop me off in Queens after work, and I'd be there for 4 or 5 hours, and he would take care of the baby, and I was getting my license. And my business partner, one of the last nights of my class, is when I met my business partner, Matt, and we really connected. And then after that, we just been business partners ever since then. Yep.
How long has everything been up and running?
So as a brand, it's going to be about 10 years that Inspection Boys has been around. I've been in industry longer than 10 years, but it's going to be about 10 years now that Inspection Boys has been out there. It started from a brand that had no brand recognition to where it is now. So I'm really proud of that. And what people don't realize is we are a franchise. So we have like certain franchisees around the island too. So that help with,
Brand.
yes, exactly.
Well, you being in a male-dominated space, do you ever still feel at this point in the game that you still got to prove yourself?
Oh yeah, all day long.
Yeah?
All day long. I think there's a lot. Unfortunately, the home inspectors in the industry that all know who I am, they know they don't have to do that with me, right? They know my knowledge, they know this, I know just as much as anybody else. It becomes a problem when I'm dealing with contractors.
Oh, really?
Contractors, because a lot of contractors are the only word I can think of is like in Spanish, like machismo, right? Like they're just, yes. And they think they know it all, or they try to they play everybody like they know the most and everybody else are idiots, right? So for example, we had somebody who went in and a customer, this was a real, like we did the inspection like 2 years ago. And they were like, your home inspector should have caught this. There's so much mold here. This has been here, for at least 5 years. And this is what they're saying to a homeowner. So a homeowner calls us really upset. And they're like, you guys missed this. Or, okay, well, let's pull up the inspection reports, right? So we pull it up in the same area that's in question. I'm like, none of that is there. Well, the contractor is saying it's been here for 5 years. I'm like, let me tell you something. He's lying to you. I said, there is no way I can go look at a piece of mold on a wall and I can tell you, hey, this mold is talking to me. It's been here for 5 years long. That doesn't work like that.
Right.
And same with roofs. A contractor could go up. There's no serial number. There's nothing on that roof telling you, unless the seller has a receipt. Like they did it. That's the only way you know when the roof was installed. Otherwise, it's hearsay.
You could just look at the architectural ones and they'll...
Exactly. We can give a range.
35 years.
Right. We can give a range. And even 35-year roofs will look like they're only 2 or 3 years old because they've been so well maintained. And then you're going to have a 5-year-old roof that looks like a 30-year-old roof, right? That is the biggest scam I've ever seen in my life. And contractors will fight with me. And I will tell them, okay, please show me the serial ID. Show me where you're getting this. What do you mean? I'm just a contractor. All right, cool. You're lying. Sorry, I get very passionate about this.
No, that's what therefore we need to get it all out because people that don't know you need to know, who you are.
They don't realize it. Yeah. Now come at me with a boiler, then let's pull up the serial tag. Let's go look at that, and then we can get some data on that, right? But if you're just coming at me and you're just saying, well, my experience is telling me this is how long this exists. Show me proof Otherwise, whatever experience you have is not true, and contractors are the worst at that.
Especially when you just got your license last night as a contractor, and you're trying to tell me your experience. Like, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
I dislike contractors. I have my own stories. We'll talk about that later. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, in the midst of this inspection boys specifically, is there anything like, not that you regret, but maybe you wish you would have done differently or like done more of, or
Yes. Yes. So, all right. So we're in an era right now of all this information, right? And
Too much information.
it's too much information, but it's also information sometimes where you can have access to like a guy like Gary Vee, or what was the lady you just showed me? The Leia lady, I forget her name. But anyways, her husband owns School, right? School.com, right? And but they are they have all these incredible people that you get to hear their point of views and their struggles, and they tell you their stories, right? For a long time, I was going through things and I didn't have anybody I thought I was the only person going through these things.
You didn't have knowledge.
Right. And I didn't know, like, social media wasn't as big. Like, Instagram before didn't have videos. It was just pictures. That's it. Right. And so everything has changed so much. So I wish, and I can't say I wish, but if I could go back 11 years ago, there'd be a lot of things I wouldn't do now. Right. I probably would live more by, and I'm trying to change this about me too, is hire slow, fire quick.
Hire slow, fire quick.
Right.
Okay.
Because if I did more due diligence sometimes and stopped feeling guilty for certain people, and I kept them on because I felt a sense of guilt,
right.
Instead they costed me money. Right. And, so there's a lot of things like that, but now in retrospect, it's just, okay, I'm just taking into experience, right? I'm just, all right, now I'm not going to do that anymore. Right. And those are just some things,
Okay. The dog grooming business. What made you open that, or what made you even get into that space?
Yeah. So,
We both have dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is because Inspection Boys is a franchise. We ended up joining another conglomerate, and they're called Loyalty Brands. They own a number of other additional brands underneath them, and one of them was Zoom Grooming. So we actually bought the rights for a few other brands that they have there too.
Oh, nice.
And one of them we haven't opened up yet, but that's starting again soon. But the Zoom and Grooming, we bought the area rights for all of Long Island.
Nice.
Okay. So, why we chose mobile dog grooming was because my business partner has his own reasons too, but I can tell you my reasoning. My daughter was a baby. I have 2 dogs. Now I have 3 dogs. But at the time I had 2 dogs. She's a baby. She can't even walk yet. And I have to go get my dogs groomed. Now I can't leave the baby in the car. Right? So I'm holding her, and I have both my dogs on the leash. They're both going opposite ways. And I'm trying to get them inside this building to go get groomed. Right? It was one of the most stressful things in my life because I'm trying to control 3 different things that are all moving at the same time. Right? Did I do it? Yes, but it was very stressful. And I told my husband, I'm never doing this again. You're going to have to come with me, or it's going to be on a Saturday. I said, because this was just too much, right? So when we joined Loyalty Brands and I started seeing this mobile dog grooming franchise, and I started talking to my friend who also bought an area rep in a different state, everything that she was doing, I just fell in love with it. I was like, well, wait a second. Like my dogs are my babies, right? I do everything for my dogs. They sleep with me. They do whatever it is that they want. Like, I'm always like, okay, baby. And people are like that with their animals.
Yes.
Right?
We've been going for 10 years.
Yeah, my aunt got like a stroller for her cat, so when she goes on vacation, she can put her cat and the cat can walk with her.
I love it.
Right? So like what we do for animals, I was like, all right, well, then my friend was like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm getting my 3rd truck. And she's only had the business for 2 years.
Wow.
And she was getting her 3rd truck. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, this is a real thing. So then we started it. And I've never experienced a business that's so easy to make the phone ring.
Yeah.
Yes. With some marketing and you put the right systems in place, the phones just start to ring. It's insane.
Because a lot of people do have pets, and I think since COVID, You had a lot more people who went out and got, animals.
Right.
And
But it's considered a luxury, right? Like, because mobile is more expensive than going to traditional groomers. So I tell it to everybody, I said, it's not, it is more expensive, but we're coming to you. You don't need to give us water. You don't need to give us electric. It's all there.
it's all there.
It's all there.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are some skills you feel like translated from inspection boys into grooming, if anything, or do you feel like it's a completely different?
So home inspectors are very unique individuals. And what I mean by that is most home inspectors you're going to talk to, they're very systematic. They do things the same way over and over and over. They're usually very introverts. And for home inspections, I think what helped me, and I think also just me being from a younger generation too, because of home inspections being so systematic, that has helped me also grow that into all my other companies. What do I have to do things the same way every single time for certain companies to make sure that these things are being done and then everything else will happen.
Nice, I like that. Out of all the businesses that you are involved in, which one surprised you more and why?
That's a difficult question. Main Street Success.
Oh, your walking company.
No, Main Street Success is a school.
Oh, school, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because that started by accident as well.
Again.
Yes.
A
So
lot of accidents.
yeah.
Success. Yeah.
So Main Street Success started before the pandemic. We were doing a lot of education for realtors. At first, it wasn't called Main Street Success. It was called a completely different company. It's no longer, or we changed it all. It's no longer around like that. But we used to call it Inspection Boys Real Estate School.
Oh, okay.
Right? And that was very selfish intent. What it was how do we talk to realtors and make it about education, get them CE credits, but it's all home inspection based. Right. So it was very successful, right? During the pandemic.
Especially.
Yes. We were doing classes with 800 plus people in a Zoom class. I could, like, all these people want to hear about inspections. Like, what the heck? Right. But what happened was all these agents were like, we need more. People were like, I don't know how to fill out disclosures. I don't know what a contingency is. I don't know what this is. And people didn't understand title. So I'm like, holy crap, like there's an issue here.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I told my business partner, I said, well, we need to change this. I was like, so I think, that's how Main Street Success started. It was about, and I told him, I said, it can't be tied to inspection boys. It needs to be coming from a purely educational, where we are coming here to help people, help them succeed and help them change their life, right? So then we started filling in the gaps of all the agents of what they were asking us and bringing it, like, listen, you know so many people, I know so many people. Why not use these people to help educate these people? It's going to help their businesses, but now they're providing education, right? And that's how Main Street Success started, was to fill a void and a need of what agents needed. People are too embarrassed to say things out loud. So they want to do it in a safe space.
Yeah. I think any business that you start or you're coming at from a place of value, you're always going to get a lot more out of people.
Yeah.
Because everybody's always looking for that, what's in it for me? What's in it for me?
Right.
And once you feel like you're coming at it from that angle, it doesn't feel as genuine.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say transitioning into real estate. How old were you when what's your first piece of real estate?
So I bought my house in 2018. And I was, how old was I? 27. I was 27.
Okay. I bought my first one when I was 28.
Yeah.
Okay. You beat me again.
Okay.
Okay.
And now I'm going to be, how old am I going to be? I'm going to be 36. Yeah. I'm going to be 36.
How was your experience? Did you feel like it was
horrible? Absolutely horrible.
Real.
The smoothest stain was my home inspection, which was my business partner did.
Okay.
My real estate agent didn't know what she was doing.
Okay.
She's no longer in the industry.
Okay.
But I didn't know, I wasn't so well connected at the time, right? Like I was getting a lot of home inspections, but I really wasn't out there networking. I was just getting word of mouth and online things and stuff like that. And then my first loan officer was a disaster. Almost lost my entire down payment, everything. This is why networking is so important, because I went to my local, like similar to like a BNI, let's say, right? I went to my morning meeting. I'm so stressed out. And there's a loan officer there. His name is, can I say names or no?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Matt Underwood.
Especially if he's a good guy.
Matt Underwood, Nationwide, amazing guy. And
Matt.
yeah. And
The bad one,
Yeah.
yeah, name too. Like we don't
No.
hope that he punches him.
no, he's
Okay,
great.
I'm sorry.
And so I'm sitting there and he's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, listen, Matt, like we're in the same group, but I felt embarrassed to even bring this to you.
You said that, but
Yeah. And I was like, so here's what's happening. And he was like, all right, cool. Send me everything right now. He goes, knowing you already have it on your phone, don't you? And I had Dropbox, and I just shared the link. I said, here's everything, all my files, right? And he's right. I had everything organized. So I sent it to him. He gets home, or not home, wherever his office was. Within 2 hours, I had my mortgage commitment. And I was like, how did you do that? Within 2 hours. I'm like, how did you do that? Because that's what they were, the bank, the other side was like, you need your mortgage commitment. The other guy couldn't get me the mortgage commitment. I'm like, how'd you do that? He goes, Bridget, you had everything. You had the appraisal done. I was doing a 2 or 3K loan. You had the consult. You had everything there. I don't know why this guy couldn't do it.
Put it together.
Right. So the next thing I know, 9 days later, we're closing out my house and I have the keys in my hand.
9 days.
9 days later. And I'm like, so now every time my husband sees Matt Underwood, like he came to Gatsby's the first year, all you see is my husband go to Matt and he just gives him a big hug. And so now it's like every time I see Matt, like it's just, we have this relationship because he made it all possible.
He's a herbivore.
Yeah. And I know there's awesome loan offers out there, but like he's in my car.
Manager guy.
Yeah.
What did that first purchase, what did it teach you when it comes to risk, money, and ownership?
It made me realize how undereducated home buyers are. Huge, because people don't educate people. And real estate agents too, because my realtor didn't know what 2 or 3K loans were.
That's insane.
And didn't understand it. And didn't understand, like, I needed to get certain paperwork submitted
By a certain time.
by a certain time. Exactly. So like during the appraisal, I needed to get 4 pictures. And the lady was like 96 years old, so she was very nervous. So I said, okay. The homeowner.
Okay.
So she was very nervous. So I said, okay, well, listen, can I go to the property when he's doing the appraisal just to take outside pictures? They didn't have to go inside. Just needed 4 pictures for the town. And the realtor was screaming at me. The loan officer was screaming at me. This is not Matt, but the other people. They're like, you can't always get your way, Bridget. That's what they said to me. And I'm like, you don't understand. Like, I need this.
Without that, the deal is not closed.
Right. I said, I don't need to. You're the bank is asking me for XYZ. So I need to show this. Like, what do you want from me? So I needed 4 pictures. I was there less than a minute.
In and out.
4 pictures. And because of that, I just felt like all you guys are idiots.
Oh, okay.
Not you, not.
Okay. Well, Sakai folks, I'm sorry.
No, I meant like those people that I was working with, because it was just like 4 pictures. Like, there's a way to deal with it. Because now I will never recommend that loan officer. I will never recommend that realtor because of that one experience.
Yeah.
Right. So I think there's a big lapse in education.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. The amount of agents that you have in the field now, and I think last year they said we were talking like 40,000 agents, and
that's Long Island.
Long Island.
New York is 103,000.
But out of the 40,000 that we have in Long Island, you have more than half of them that didn't do business last year and haven't done any deals but have licenses. To me, it doesn't make any sense, because the people don't take. I think they didn't raise the bar. They've lowered it so much that everybody just wants to get in because it's the cool thing to do now.
Right. And unfortunately, and I can say this, is we have the pre-licensing. Pre-licensing only teaches you the laws to not get in trouble and not to go up to jail. It does not teach you how to sell real estate. So I always try to, with all our students, I always said, you really need to hook up with somebody that knows what they're doing and learn from them, because that's going to be the way that you become successful. Otherwise, you're never going to sell a house. And even the students coming out of the school, the ones that have listened are selling houses. You want to know why? I get the inspections, right? The ones that did it aren't doing anything. So, what's that?
Nothing. Okay. So you're a wife and mom and an entrepreneur. What does balance look like to you?
Oh my God.
I know we all struggle with it because
It's really thanks to my husband, right? Because if it was up to me, I would fill up my schedule every night with something, right? Doing an event, doing a networking, whatever it is. And Justania is the one that's all can sometimes remind me, you can't do that, blah, 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 because I feel a need that I always have to be out there connecting. And if I'm at home and I'm not doing something, I feel guilty. Yeah. Right. Now, my husband, he's very good because he understands my mind, and he'll be like, I know you're really good at what you do. I know you want to do this. He goes, but like, we need you to. And then when I get that reality check and I'm like, and he does it the nicest way, I'm like,
well, I've met him so many times. He's so even killed that sometimes I got to touch him if he even pulls. He's so,
and then I'm like, okay, you're right. You know, those are your family. Like, we need you now. So like so the rule is like he doesn't really like me doing stuff on the weekends, which I respect. So if I'm doing something, it has to be something really important. Yeah. And that's our family time, right? And we are religious, so we like to do like our religious things, and we like to go to that too. So he doesn't like when I do stuff on that night too. And I can respect that, right? Otherwise, like we work as a team, and he has full access to my calendar, and he'll be like holiday season, I would tell him, like, come December, it's a lot of holidays. It's a lot of holidays already. So it's a lot of them. Yeah, exactly. And I'm exhausted. We're exhausted. Like, I want to go home and like sleep.
I go from party to party. I change in the car, folks.
Yeah.
Don't touch me. Just
last week, there was numerous times we did 2 parties in one night.
Yeah.
Right. And he doesn't understand it, but it's like, this is what you do this time of year because we have to support the industry. And if we support them, they will support us back.
Of course. You had a question before we wrap up?
Yes, I was going to say, what do you feel like is the hardest part about running so many different businesses?
I lose a lot of special moments.
I hope.
Yes.
You
I lose a lot of special moments.
just touched the nerve.
Yeah. That does pain me. I have a 1-year-old. I want more kids. I would like one more kid. And it does pain me when I'm leaving and my daughter's like, all you do is work, mommy. You know? And I do work, but she also doesn't understand. Like, she looks at daddy's job as different. You know?
Yeah.
And mommy's is mommy.
Well, you're an entrepreneur, so it's different. That he's in a different.
Exactly. And mommy has more flexibility. So, like, when the kids get sick, guess whose schedule has to change? Mommy's. Like, mommy's has to clear everything now. Like, daddy can't. But they're used to me being able to, like, adapt like that. So when I have to go out and they feel like I shouldn't go out, that's hard. Because I'm missing moments. Yeah.
That's tough. I'm not even going to ask you another question after that. Because I definitely, I was in the same space with my kids. You know, when they were young, I ran around with them everywhere. Because my wife she was 9 to 5. So I know the feeling and I know the sentiment. Where can people reach you? We definitely could have gone on for another half hour, folks, but where can people reach you?
Yeah, absolutely. So my Instagram is bam _ 0622. And you guys can always call, text me. Our office number is 516-591-3262. Honestly, just reach out. I check Instagram all the time. I'm here. I help.
I'm very active. She responds, folks. So
Yeah.
if you need home inspections, you need a dog groomer, what else do you do?
I have a marketing company, so if you need help, we help people. So whatever you need, like, we're here. Just tell me. And if we don't do something, I can help you in the right direction of who to talk to.
Yeah, she's a good person to know. She knows a lot of people. We definitely gonna be doing a part 2 because we could have sat down with the other things that she has going on, folks. We could have talked for another 45 minutes. But if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, 516-218-1605. And Femi the Agent on all social platforms. Son?
Femi the Realtor on Instagram at 516-662-6824.
Thank you very much, folks. You definitely will be seeing Bridget. You coming back?
Oh, yeah.
Coming back to hang out with us? Okay, good. So we'll dive into everything else. I think she's doing a marijuana company, medical marijuana, legal, folks. We don't want any problems here. So we're definitely going to be diving into a part 2. But thank you very much, folks, for your support. Support this lady. She has a lot of things going on. She's a good person to know. Again, 516-218-1605. Have a great day, folks, and stay safe.